Welcome to Seamless Across Platforms, the podcast where we seamlessly navigate through the worlds of video games, sports, and everyday life. Join me, Fighting Ewok, along with my co-host, I'm Famished, as we explore the diverse spectrum of topics that fuel our passions.
Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to use this one-handed lopper. Look at that, taking them out. This one is great. I highly recommend it.
What the hell? Wow. Really, dude?
Yeah. From epic gaming adventure to heated sports debates and insightful discussions about twists and turns of lives, we cover it all. So settle in and join us for a journey across platforms. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when our episodes are coming out.
I have a beef with people. Okay. Teamwork. I have a beef with people not wanting to have teamwork.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's this. Have you watched these social media videos where it's people like being holier than thou to their place of work or their place of business, right? So you have people teaching people how to write back sarcastic emails. Okay, that's one thing.
Mm.
But there's these other videos where they are making fun of, you know, a PTO policy or, you know, toxic workplaces or, you know, a warehouse environment being too hot, you know, and they're making fun of like one-time bonuses because the company had a record performance. You know, like, I don't want bonuses, I want raises.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like, but surely you've seen these videos where these people who are like, will I be receiving compensation for training this person because that's extra work? Will I be receiving compensation for doing this person's little part of their job while they're out? You know? Or, no, I cannot come to work today, but I'm not a manager. It's your problem. I'm not going to find someone else for your place, for the place you manage. I just can't come in today. So it's not my responsibility. You know, like they just make a huge freaking deal out of that stuff.
Yeah,
And I can't stand that holier than thou mentality. I just cannot stand it. Okay. The fact of the matter is, most of the time, those people making those videos, their example is like they're calling out the day of, and they wonder why their manager is mad at them. You know, and it's like, yeah, of course you have a life, but you also have a job. It's called responsibility. So, yeah, of course someone might be frustrated at you. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, you want raises because you participated in your job place having a record-setting profit for that year or whatever? Hell, do you know nothing about business? Are you just floating through space, not understanding that that's a one-time performance, but yet you want a raise that stays with you the rest of your damn career?
Yeah.
Relish in the opportunity to take part in what was a good performance, take your little bit of money and run with it. Okay, it's a business. All right, it's like people don't understand the decisions they make each day. Yeah, they're working hard. They're doing the stuff that makes the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not making heavy hitting decisions that determine whether or not those people are going to have a job the next day. These other people, they make fun of executives. They make fun of upper management because they're making decisions that determine whether or not you even can come into work the next day if you have a job. Of course they're getting paid more money because they're doing more at a different level of a different kind of work.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if you're not getting a raise because your company did something good one time. Take your little bonus if you get one or whatever. I don't know. It's those complaining videos, they get under my skin.
Yeah.
You know, if a company never shares, you know, if they are like just genuinely toxic, you know, hey, I like PTO in 2 weeks or whatever, and they just refuse you, that's a different thing. And that's a different thing altogether. But these people making these videos, okay, that gets me to the freaking teamwork. People just do not want to operate as a team or sacrifice for each other. Okay. Like, for example, people only want to pull a certain amount of hours. Okay, I get it. Well, what if you're in an environment where if you pull a few extra hours to go help someone else, if you get yourself into a pinch, perhaps that will be returned to you. Or you invest in time with each other, therefore cutting down time with your own responsibilities because you're helping each other out. People have lost sight completely of the benefits of helping each other. And it drives me insane because and even in my work environment, teamwork is so important, and people don't want to be there for each other because they're ticked off that somebody said something mean to them or about them once upon a time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like, get over yourselves and understand that if you operate as a team in many work environments, you're actually going to cut down your own workload down the road. Or when you get into a pinch and you're going to have to put in a ton of extra time, you have a better chance of somebody else coming to help you as well. And people just got away from it. Okay. And I don't know whether people like it or not. There's a pre-COVID world where people were sort of trending wishy-washy on investing time into others and that sort of thing. But COVID squashed it. They said, hey, you stay away from each other. This is the way it is. Now that stuff's lifted and you can go out and help each other again and do this, nothing. Bupkis, right?
Yeah.
That mentality exists in a small fraction of people now. And it drives me insane because doing things on your own is not the answer to sustained long-term success. It is not. You have to have a community. You have to have people that care about you. You need to have people that come around you in a pinch, because the same people that do not want to go help others will then get mad at their business because their business is telling them, no, you have to stay and get this done. No, this is your responsibility. You have to do it. And that person is like, oh, I'm not doing that. No way. I'm not going to participate in that. When maybe if you had built some relationships, the fact that you got yourself into a pickle with your own job responsibility, and now maybe you fell behind for some reason, you're in a pickle where you have to live up to your obligation. You probably fell behind for something that was maybe within or out of your control. I don't know. But if it's your responsibility to do it, you still have to do it. But if you had built relationships, maybe somebody would come and help you, and you wouldn't then have to put in as much time.
Yeah.
So I have some very, very specific examples, but I also want to keep a broad stroke on it because, of just our workplaces and things like that. But it's not just within the workplace, it's outside of it as well. And all I'm saying is that your own individual silo, your own individual stay away from other people thing is not sustainable for long-term success at all. At all. And I want to explode based on what I'm experiencing with the lack of people caring about each other inside of a workplace. Okay? Because you still have to go to work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't get out of it. And inside of that workplace, you have responsibilities. And people just want to shove them off or just pretend like they don't exist into fairyland. Or I don't know. I understand you only live once, but we have responsibility in this life. And if you become a person who gets responsibility inside of their workplace, now you probably have influence over other people's lives. And sometimes you're going to need help. So if you have chosen to go into a work environment where you influence other people's lives or you work around other people, you should probably embrace it and get over your self-centered individualism and just go after what you know is the best thing for you. If you're in the people business, then freaking work as a team, as people, and get over yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, I'm sorry. I started this thing off with a freaking rant, but that
No,
is
you're
what
good, man.
it's what my head wants to explode. That people don't care.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that I wanted to throw in, but I definitely wanted you to get it all off your chest because I could tell you you wanted to. But I guess the first thing I'll say about what you're talking about is that I actually haven't seen any of these videos that you're referring to that I can recall. But that doesn't mean that I don't understand what you're talking about, because working every day in the, you know, typical workforce of the jobs that we have, you know, my job in general, I can think of scenarios, you know, current and past jobs where I've had situations where people kind of like, you know, put themselves in this little island of, you know, I'm going to worry about myself, you know, and I'm not going to worry about teamwork, and I'm not going to worry about putting in that extra effort now, hoping that it will have a return later. And some of those people can be very, very difficult to work with. And I get that, you know, you made the comment of you only live once, and a lot of us don't want to miss out on just like the fun of life and not having to deal with the stress and worries and the difficult path of like taking responsibility for your actions, as well as, you know, accountability for your work ethic. And it's easier to play the victim or to play the route of, let me just worry about me and not put in this extra effort today so I can just have a good time today, or, you know, relax today. And it can be very, very difficult to work with people like that don't want to have your back when you need them. And all I can say is that, you know, there are some days where it's tough to suck it up, for lack of a better term, and do whatever's being asked of you. Like, I can think of right now, my current job has certain things that they're asking of me to do that I really don't like doing them. They can really just get under my skin sometimes with what they're asking me to do. But when I take a step back and I look at my team, that's what always makes me want to come around and like do that thing that's being asked of me. Is like, I don't want to leave my team hanging, you know? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that dead weight that they're having to drag. So
Yeah, and it's because it's if we had a life where we didn't have to go to a job, obviously that's ideal. Okay.
yeah,
But the fact is that, to your point, if you're in a work environment where your participation with your team ultimately benefits your work environment, then you should participate in it.
Yep.
Because if we have to work, which we do, then why not, if you do only live once, when you're at that job, also make it part of who you are and be a person that other people appreciate and want to be around.
Yeah.
Right? Do not portray some you against the man or the woman type of environment where you're so negative about things. Just embrace what you do and embrace those around you as if you do only live once. And when you're not at work, then be that same kind of person outside, or be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
But why make it miserable when you were there because you want to stand up to against some value that is real, or against something to try to prove a point. And a lot of times it's anti-teamwork. It's anti do this or that. And I'm not saying just be okay with taking on double the responsibilities for 8 months and never say a word about it. At some point, you do want to say something if it's extreme like that. But my main point here today is that sometimes people are so short-sighted, like the folks who want to raise because their company did great 1 or 2 years in a row. It doesn't work that way, because then 2 years from now, you're going to be out of business. because you can't record profits because you gave everyone raises on a one-time great deal. Take the little bonus and run with it. Be happy. Okay? Because
Yeah.
next year may not be as good. You never know. Some
Yeah.
other company better than you might come around.
There's two.
But when you're at work, freaking work as a team and act like you give a crap about something when you're at work. Because if you have responsibility, you probably have to invest time at that workplace. And why not make the most of it or the best of it and be around and surround yourself and be one of those people that others want to be around?
Yeah. There's two things that came to mind when you were just talking now, and one that's like really difficult to do at times, but like it's something that you have to find a way to do it when you're working, and that's leaving your emotions at the door and leaving your like your home life at the door. Like when you go into your place of business, the place that you're working at, you've got to try to find a way to just, even if it means like you're becoming the work version of yourself, and you can just flip that switch where you walk through the door and you're now all of a sudden, I'm work me. And you just, it's almost like you're taking on, like, I don't know, you're an actor in a movie and all of a sudden you're just like, it's like action, you know, when you walk through the door. If you got to do that, like do that. And I know that sounds silly, but sometimes that helps me. I hate like to pretend like I'm something I'm not, but sometimes, you know, like obviously there's certain things in our jobs that we get asked to do that we may not like to do, that may not fit who we are 100%. But unless it's something that's like illegal, like they're asking you to do something illegal, then, you know, it's work. That's why they call it work. The other thing that came to mind was, you know, these, you know, people, you know, whoever they may be, that take on this like victim mindset of, you know, just wanting to stick it to the man or feeling like they can't trust their employer because they feel like they're being taken advantage of or whatever it may be. You know, take a look at the big picture and how, you know, are you staying at this job for a while? Is it not working out and you're going from job to job? And think about your approach to your day-to-day work and ask yourself, are you getting the same outcome over and over where you just feel like it's just the same crap everywhere you go? And if that's the case, maybe you need to look in the mirror a little bit and think about investing, like you said. Maybe if I invest and change my outlook on some of these things, then maybe the outcome will turn into something a little bit different. Maybe if I follow what the leadership is suggesting to me for this current role I'm in, maybe something good will come out of it if I just approach it positively instead of the victim mindset or feeling like I can't trust my employer, or I can't trust the person that's managing me. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's situations out there where people have, you know, leadership that's not what they want and it's making them miserable at work or whatever. But, you know, there's also just times where we need to just take a step back and look in the mirror and say, what can I do better? Stop worrying about everybody else, worry about yourself and say, what can I do better to help my team, help whatever job role I'm in? If it means that, you know, you take a step back and realize, you know what, I spend a lot of time browsing the internet while I'm at work. Stop browsing the internet. Start maybe doing some more actual work, maybe do some training, like fill in that time. I don't, you know, that's just a silly example, but like say you're working in like a retail box store and you're, you know, too many times you're checking your cell phone throughout the day, texting people, texting family, texting friends, you know, checking Twitter, checking YouTube, whatever, instead of like, I don't know, stocking shelves or, you know, straightening up the store or, you know, training a team member or working with a team member, whatever it may be. Like maybe, I don't know, put your phone down, start keeping your phone like locked away in your car or something. Like taking those steps to like look at yourself can help people so much more than playing the victim and trying to find ways of like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. Like I didn't get treated like this at this place, or I bet I get treated better there. Like stop. Like there's just so many ways that people and make their situation better by investing now. Investing that extra effort above and beyond now, I can honestly say helped me a lot in a lot of my jobs. And though some jobs, I get it, leadership is not quite there. Something about the job is not quite there. Jobs don't always fit everybody. But if that's the case, move on.
Yeah. You can either move on, and also while you're there, like I said, just make the most of it.
Yeah.
Right? There's no sense in siloing yourself and not being a team player with others or being negative to everybody and creating that persona, making it worse on yourself. Just bring a positive light or don't say anything at all. And if it isn't going well for you there, then you might as well try to build relationships with your peers if you don't like the leadership and have teamwork within them and make the most of it
Yeah.
because you need to enjoy yourself. If you, and again, I keep going back to this because so many people take this one life thing or I want to do this, then stop being hateful at half of your life because half of your life is working. If you have a job, you're working for 8 hours a day or 24 hours a week or 48 hours a week or 60 hours a week. I don't care. Whatever you're working, right? It's part of it. So
Mm.
why be miserable in that part of it? And if you don't like the job, there's a certain level of I'm not exactly happy. But why then bring yourself negative energy out and make it miserable even more so because you silo yourself from people? Now people don't want to be around you. You push them away when instead you could create a positive environment within which you can control that inside of your own, say, building or office space. You can control your environment. So anyway, and I don't, and that starts to lead into more how people lead and being self-motivated. My main frustration today is that some people are so short-sighted and others just cannot see that teamwork is the only true way to make it through. And I don't care if it's work, I don't care if it's home, whatever it is, you can never do everything by yourself. So you need to buy in to building relationships with people in a positive way. That's it. That's it. And it's just very aggravating. And it makes me feel a lot better to tell you about it.
Yeah. Well, the same
And
lesson
vent.
can be said about life, man. I mean, it's really, really important to have good, close friends to, carry on that journey through life with. If you're on your own, chugging along through life, it can feel pretty lonely and start to feel depressing and feel like it's just you against the world. And, nothing's more precious than having that small circle of people you can trust that are not always just family. Sometimes you develop good friendships like what you and I have. And the same lessons can be carried over into the workplace, like, developing trust within your team and relying on your team. Too often as a leader in my past in a leadership position, tried to put too much on my shoulders, and I sunk real fast when I did that. So it was only when I realized that I really, really need to start depending on my team that my best days are always days that I did that. So.
Yeah. And a little segue, speaking about being good buddies and pals, I see something behind your shoulder in the background there.
Oh yeah, my little
A little
alien.
sign there. I don't know where that guy came from.
Bam.
There's the alien, and then the
Yeah.
little sign right below it as
Oh yeah.
well.
Oh, sorry. You were talking about the dock sign that you got me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Something I like to say to play a hand in your background there.
You sure did, man. Best
But
streamer
the
alive right
alien
there.
sign, where the heck did you get that alien sign?
Oh, just online.
Dang. Which reminds me, that alien sign just made me think. The next time you come up here, I got to take you to this place I found downtown. Okay.
All right.
It has a very like 50s, 60s. I don't know. I don't know what era it is, but it's like maybe 60s like sci-fi
Ooh.
vibe in there. And it's all about burgers and fries and shakes. But it's not like that silver chromed out diner feel that you think. It is like more sci-fi, like pictures of like alien robots and things like that up
Oh.
there.
Oh.
And I just went there for the first time this weekend. That place is freaking awesome. That alien, that place. That reminded me. Definitely got to go.
So kind of like a oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank here. What was that incident in the U.S. with the whole that was like the big deal? People talk about it all the time. Oh gosh, it was like back around that time. There was apparently like some kind of like UFO site.
I don't know because I don't think we've ever been visited, so I don't really pay attention to all that.
Well, no, it's like a historical big story about something
Yeah,
that happened. Oh, Roswell,
I don't
Roswell.
know.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Roswell.
Roswell.
So like
Okay.
maybe like
Well,
a restaurant that kind of fits that time in history. I guess I don't even know
yeah.
when that happened. I think that the Roswell stuff maybe happened in the 60s or 70s. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know, man. Noki. I don't know. All I know is that there's pictures on the wall of like sci-fi robots and other things from that era. So it's just freaking cool. It's a cool place.
That sounds cool. We definitely need to go when I come back up there. But
Yeah, for sure. But oh man. So I think since the last time that we spoke, I think there was a uh uh,
we
did
had
we discuss
we had Super
what
Bowl
did we discuss
predictions. We
sports
talked
wise?
about we talked about the Super Bowl. We gave our Super Bowl predictions. I don't remember what
Yeah.
our Super Bowl. I mean, I think we both ended up picking San Francisco in our predictions, but I think you were
Yeah.
wanting Kansas City to win, and I
Yeah.
didn't care who won, but I think I picked like San Francisco by like I don't know a touchdown,
Hmm.
whereas I think you may have picked it a little bit closer. If I remember
Yeah, I
correctly.
thought it might be pretty close, which I think it ended up being very close, right? Went to overtime.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a
But
great game.
I, it was a really good game. But I guess it tells you how much we dabble in the NFL. We don't remember our predictions and
Yeah,
we're happy the game happened when it's over.
yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I'm way more excited about.
Basketball. Yeah,
My Oklahoma
OKC.
City Thunder. We're hitting the back end of the season. The Thunder finally made a trade for a big name, though he's sort of injured a lot. But if this were 5 years ago, it would have been blockbuster trade. But for now, good move if he's healthy. They traded for Gordon Hayward, so that
Oh,
was
yeah.
yeah. So that's a big deal to solidify that team going into the playoffs. So I don't think it's a long-term move. I don't know if he'll be around after the offseason, but it's the first real intentional move. I think it's really a strategic play. There's a lot of in-depth behind that trade, creating certain trade exceptions, and his salary is only 1 year, so it'll come off the books in the offseason. So I don't know what'll happen, but if he's healthy, their push through the playoffs is going to be just even more because that young talent, oh my gosh, man, it's so once again exciting to be a Thunder fan. I mean, been through the ups and downs since day one. I went to the first ever playoff game when they played the Lakers in Oklahoma City, their first ever playoff game for them. And so, I mean, it's just I'm a day oneer. So it's been up and down, but they're back, and it's going to be another 10 years of here, contending. So
Here's their next
anyway, that's my
championship
that's my
run, huh?
fandom excitement. That right now, that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. Their next it's like they've been, a sleeping giant, getting some rest, and they're back to fight again. So,
Oh
yeah. I'm
yeah,
excited, dude. I'm excited for you. Being a fellow person that has rooted for OKC more than I think any other team in the NBA, I'm excited to see how the playoffs go. Though I am not much of a regular season person, I'm excited.
yeah,
That's cool, man.
yeah.
But
Oh,
Gordon
oh yeah.
Hayward, he's the guy that he like snapped his leg or something like that like 4 or 5 years ago, right?
I think you're thinking of Paul George,
No, 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 no. There was
but maybe.
a
But
um
Gordon Hayward, maybe he did. I think maybe he did because I think he was playing up in Boston for a bit. I think he got hurt pretty
yes.
bad.
It was like his
He's been
first
injured for a
season.
while.
Yep, it was this guy, Gordon Hayward. I think it was like within his first couple of seasons at Boston, he broke his leg.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I remember it now.
Yeah.
So he's been injured, and I think he's supposed to come back after the All-Star break. So I hope they can incorporate him in I hope that goes smoothly. it
I think
does,
I think it will. I think that's a good fit.
yeah. But yeah, yeah. So, anything going on in your sports world? I know you only get excited for one thing and one thing only.
Well,
And
I
that,
haven't.
what I would say, a lot of things within one school you get excited about with sports.
Yeah. And it's if anybody's been listening to at this point, they know that I like Nebraska. But like, yeah, anything Nebraska sports related, I'm gonna pull for it. So, got some bad news though with a star player on our women's softball team, uh, Jordy Ball. Like first game of the season, she's supposed to be like one of the best women's softball players in the country in college softball. Tore her ACL in the first game. So she's out for the season.
That's rough.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I do actually dabble in college in softball because, and only because, the Oklahoma Sooners are usually one of the best women's
Mm-hmm.
softball teams, and maybe it has something to do with the fact that the Women's World Series is always in Norman. I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
or Oklahoma City, but they're always at the top, man. So I
Yeah.
actually do kind of like up with that a little bit to see how they're doing.
Well, in that reference, if you I mean, I don't know how close you pay attention to Oklahoma Sooners softball, but she actually transferred from Oklahoma back to Nebraska. She played softball in high school in Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken. Went to Oklahoma. I believe she won a national championship with Oklahoma as Oklahoma's pitcher. She was their star pitcher when they won the national title, I believe, last year.
Okay.
And she decided to transfer back home to Nebraska during the off season, where she was on the fence about whether she wanted to commit to Nebraska or Oklahoma. Ended up going to Oklahoma. Long story short, first season with Nebraska, and she tears her ACL in the first game. So,
Shoot.
it is what it is.
Nebraska sports. Yep. Dadgummit, man. It stinks.
Yeah, it's all right though. I think we still have a good team. It's just kind of like the whole state was so excited about this girl coming back because apparently she was like highly touted recruit when she went to Oklahoma, and then while she was at Oklahoma, she was just crushing it. One of the best players in the country, on the collegiate level there. So her coming back was like a homecoming, and the whole state was, that followed softball or Nebraska sports was excited about it. And poor thing got an injury in the first game. So it is what it is, but she'll probably bounce back and have a good season next season. And there.
Yeah. Well, the next big sports event, I think I need you to study up on college basketball. And we're going to have to do some bracket picks and stuff. Everyone loves a good tournament pick and stuff. And, hey, if Nebraska can get some key wins here, maybe, they're making the NCAA tournament, and who knows if they play close to home, maybe they make a run to the Sweet 16 or something. I mean, they've beaten some pretty good teams at home.
Yeah. I've watched quite a few Nebraska games, but I will say that my schedule and my time does not allow for me to really watch too many other college basketball games unless I just force myself to sit down and watch YouTube highlights of them. I feel like I seen some kind of tweet. Of course, this is from like Nebraska fan or something, I'm sure, where they were upset because, and this was like a few weeks ago, where they were talking about the possibilities of the brackets and people that are going to make it and people that aren't going to make it. And I can't remember the team that this particular fan used as reference in his tweet, but he was upset because the tweet was showing, hey, this person is predicted to be in the tournament and Nebraska is not. And he was showing a comparison of their win-loss records and the games that they won and the games that they lost. And the other team compared to Nebraska that was predicted to be in the tournament not only had a worse record than Nebraska, but also some of their wins and losses were not as good as Nebraska's wins and so on. And they were like pretty much saying this team is 100% in the tournament because of who they are. Like it was some big name team that's like, just a popular basketball school in college. And so like that, there's like, there appeared to be some bias in the early predictions I say early, but it was a couple weeks ago, predictions on who's going to be in the tournament or not. And so things like that. I mean, again, I don't know a lot about college basketball, but obviously college basketball has like some weird biasness to it as well, like college football. So that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
And again, I don't have my source right here in front of me, so it could have all just been a bunch of hoopla, but I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well. But hey, well, most of our stuff, we like all kind of sports, and I think like a lot of guys like us kind of dabble and know a bit about a lot of things, but we really are invested in one big team,
Yeah.
and that's really where we focus. And so I think a lot of people can relate to that, having opinions or thoughts on a broad spectrum, but really knowing a whole lot about one certain thing. But anyway, that's what we talk about here. So, along with sports, I don't know if you have anything else with that, but
Yeah.
all right. So recently, your YouTube video, we got into like your avenue
Yeah.
of who you like, what you're enjoying doing, and you liked editing and creating the content through editing and adding like features to it, right?
Yeah.
And you put out a couple of real good, um, I think, YouTube videos recently where you're playing games with somebody else, and you just have these really funny cut-ins of people after you get dissed,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I think it's awesome. I think it looks great.
Thanks,
So if
man.
that's the
Thank
path you're
you.
going down, I think it's the right one.
I've,
I really enjoyed watching them.
I've definitely been having a lot more fun with it. I will say that. I'm gonna try to stream tonight. I'll probably be playing like Rocket League tonight. But
Oh,
I'm just starting to fall in love with like having less of the anxiety of being live, and just being able to kind of like cut loose and record my gameplay and then like throw in some stuff afterwards. So it's been pretty fun.
yeah,
I uploaded
that's
another
good.
one today, but there wasn't like a lot of editing involved, and I even kept my face out of it. Like I played Call of Duty with a buddy of mine, and I just got like a really like I wouldn't say it was like an amazing kill, but like I got a pretty good sniper kill up close on a guy that like got the jump on me, and I
Mhm.
like just 180'd spun around real fast and like shot him with my sniper rifle. And what's cool about the game Call of Duty is like when you kill people, you get hot mics where you hear what they're saying into their microphone for a few seconds after you kill them. And
Oh no.
all this guy had to say, I'm sure you may eventually stumble across a video, but all this guy had to say was wow. And it just felt so good, dude, because like he got the drop on me and just started shooting me in my ass, and I just like quickly flipped around 180, like looked down my scope real fast, and I think I shot him like in the cheek neck, and it just instantly killed him. And his response was hilarious. It was just like the wow. So,
Wow.
and
Oh
there
god.
were some moments in that where they can also hear you at times throughout the game, and I was having some fun just like with my hot mic moments and stuff where like if somebody was about to kill me or killing me, I would just yell out, "No, daddy, no." So they're just killing some dude, and then they're just hearing some guy yelling, "No, daddy, no," on the other end of the mic. So
Oh my
I was
god.
having a lot of fun with that hot mic stuff, man. But I didn't
Yeah.
upload any clips of me doing that because I'm not even sure if the people on the other end heard because they didn't react. I wish I could hear whether or not they reacted to it, but maybe they're YouTubers and they got it and they uploaded it for all
Yeah.
I know.
Being a little toxic, just don't start YouTube searching the term "No Daddy No."
No, yeah,
Trying to find your clip.
don't do that. No, I'm not doing that. Definitely not doing that.
Oh Lord.
Uh,
Man. But
I'm
I really liked him. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
I really have.
Appreciate it.
So, but but I I had I had fulfilled an obligation of mine to do a short tutorial this weekend as well. Um, it's up over 1,000 views now, and live. No comments to read. Someday on this video, I want to do a comment special where I just read down the comments of some of these videos
Yeah.
because the people are ridiculous. So over the weekend, though, I did finish my tutorial on using the one-handed a one-handed lopper to lop off tree limbs. So
Ah,
I kind of previewed that in a previous short where I showed the tools around my barn, my shed. So I kind of fulfilled that. But I still got to get that two-handed lopper video going too, where I
yeah.
lop trees down. So I hope people can check it out. But the chop lopper is a recommended tool for sure.
Nice. I'm sure you've got a lot of great comments on that too.
No comments yet, actually. Usually people are criticizing me in regards to not knowing anything about life. Um, or being such an idiot, they're surprised I didn't hurt myself with that tool. Any number of things. So,
Wow.
and the best part is that sometimes people play along, and so they get it. They're in the zone. They're picking up what I'm putting down, and I love it. So I want to end tonight with something here. Um, and I'm going to turn to a random page, and I want to read you a punny joke. I loved when you did this on your kick streams. I loved this.
Yeah, man.
So I would like to do this tonight and let you rate it, and it's going to be random. All right.
Let's do it.
So I want to do 3 random ones and just see how they are. Okay.
All right.
So here we go. Random page, and I'm gonna put my finger on this one. All right. Why did rearranging its furniture help the restaurant?
Why?
Because now the tables have turned.
Oh, classic, clever,
Yeah.
using like a catchphrase. I'd give it a
Do
6.
you think a 6?
I'd give it a
Okay.
6. Like
All right. What was it?
seven.
What piece was it missing?
Um, nothing really. I think overall quality, how it was put together, it's solid. For me, I don't give anything higher than a 6 that doesn't make me actually laugh out loud. Like it made me chuckle, so I gave it a 6. But if it gets
Oh,
me like
good.
really laughing, that's when it gets 7 through 10 range for me.
Okay. I like that. I have a
Yeah.
couple of other criteria. Maybe on the next one you can knock out. You can grab a few random ones for me because you weren't ready for this. We just started. I like your criteria. I have a couple other thoughts about my criteria, so we'll get to that.
All right.
Here we go. Number 2. Okay. Here we go. Book and this one.
The chosen one.
What kind of music are balloons afraid of?
Mm.
What kind of music are balloons afraid of?
Man, I feel like I want to know this one. I mean, obviously I want to know. I feel like I could figure this one out, but go ahead. Go ahead.
What kind of music are balloons afraid of? Pop music.
Oh my gosh.
Pop music.
Also, like right there with the restaurant joke. Um, I'd give it a 5 because
Okay.
it didn't even really get me to chuckle, but it was
Yeah.
good. It was good. I think you catch me on the right day, maybe after like a drink or two, maybe I laugh a little bit more at that one.
A joke is a solid 5 if you need to be tipsy to laugh at it.
That, and I think our viewers need to know that my sense of humor is very unique, and it's sometimes it'll be the weirdest thing that gets me laughing.
Yes, absolutely. All right. The wheel has selected the next joke. What advice did the physical therapist give to the patient who broke their arm in 2 places?
Mm.
What advice did the physical therapist give to the patient who broke their arm in 2 places?
You should have came straight here instead of going to the second place. I don't know, something stupid like that.
Oh, okay. You're not off. You're not off too far off. So, what advice did the physical therapist give to the patient who broke their arm in 2 places? Stop going to those places.
Solid.
Yeah, solid. You break your arm in those places. Stop going to those places.
Yeah.
It had a twist on it. It was a twist.
That would be really funny too, as a doctor, if you had somebody that came into your office and be like, "Doc, I think I broke my arm in 2 places," and the doc's just like, "Well, you should probably stop going places."
Stop going to those places.
Yeah, I'd give that one. I'd give it a 6. I know I rated all 3 of them right there, but yeah,
Hey.
those are all good. Those 6 is good for me though. Like if I give it a 6, like that's good. Like
Yeah, those are 3 good random jokes there.
way better than the jokes in the book that I have.
Yeah. Those were like pun jokes. We can also dabble in dad jokes as well, but
Yeah,
I think 3 may be enough for the viewers today. So
yeah.
we'll leave you wanting some more.
We'll hit them with a handful on the next one.
Heck yeah, I think I like it. It's a good bit. I like this bit.
I ran into a streamer. I ran into a streamer the other day, and she was doing a really fun creative idea with like, and she was using what I would classify as dad jokes, but they were kind of along the line of this like silly funny jokes you'd see on popsicle sticks or dad jokes or whatever. And it was like a picture. There would be like some kind of picture with the the first part of the joke where you ask the whole, what did the doctor say to the person that broke their arm in 2 places, and then the back of the card would be the punchline. And she was writing her viewers like gamer tags on them for people that like had like subbed or whatever. So like anytime somebody subbed or whatever, she was writing their names on it and putting it on like a pin board behind herself to like give kudos to her viewers and kind of read a funny joke on their behalf. And I was just thinking like, holy shit, dude, like I was doing dad jokes like on my first couple of streams and kind of got away from it, but I more because of the book that I have has just been really below average on some of the dad jokes. But it was just cool to see another content creator like had a similar idea in a way, and it was, I don't know, just neat to see, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, it's good to see other people. It almost validates your idea, right? It's like, oh yeah, that was a good going down the right path. Feels nice.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. Very cool. But that's it for me. And I know you want to get on and stream a little bit. So
gonna do it, man. We're gonna play some
I think
Rocket
that'll
League.
wrap it up, bud. All right. I love it. I'll be popping on and seeing how it's going.
Great talking to you. Great catching up. And we will see everybody on the next one.
All right. Talk to you later, buddy.
Later.